Hi, 8th graders. All right, so last time we spoke, well, figuratively spoke, I told you to prepare a bunch of magazine strips, right? So today we're going to do something called quilling. And we're doing kind of a rudimentary version of quilling. You can do this with little strips of paper using tools and get really, really tight coils and do some really, really fancy designs. But seeing as how this is distance learning and this is what we have available, and I'm not able to physically be there to help you, we're going to do sort of a simplified version of quilling. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is figure out what type of shape you want to do. Being that it's spring, I decided I'm going to do kind of a, what's this, dragonfly? I just realized that my paper was previously used for cutting, so it's got a big gash in it. Okay, so I'm going to do, there's the two wings. And you can go as big as you want. You don't have to do a bug by any means. You could do a flower, you could do a heart, you could do the logo of one of your favorite sports teams. It doesn't matter to me, but you should kind of sketch it out and kind of get an idea, because this next step is going to be much easier for you doing that. The next thing you're going to need is scissors and glue. I'm using a glue stick because that's what I have on hand. White glue is just fine. Whatever kind of glue, even hot glue if you wanted to, just be careful not to burn yourself, because you are going to be manipulating this with your fingers quite a bit. Okay, so all you're going to do now is take your strips one at a time, and I'm going to coil my strip into the shape of this first circle. So I'm going to start really tight, kind of rolling this around, and once I get it to the size that I need it, I'm going to stop and cut it and glue that end down. And I'm going to keep my curls pretty tight. So it looks like one strip is about the size that I need, more or less. So I'm going to glue the end of that down. Okay? There we go. So there's my first one. Okay? Now I'm going to take a second strip. I'm going to do the same thing. This is just something that's just kind of fun, and it's not a difficult thing to do, but it does create kind of a cool effect, and it'd be neat, like hanging in a window or from a car rearview mirror, or as a gift, an ornament for a Christmas tree. This is something that you could do and give to people, and you know, that you made. People like that kind of stuff generally. So now I'm going to glue these two together. Put a nice amount of glue there and glue those two together. Now if you're using white glue, this is going to get significantly messier, and that's totally okay. The white glue will almost act to seal the newspaper so that it will be even flatter, and it will be even more secure than what I have here. Okay? So now for this long part, instead of starting with a circle, which I could do a circle here, a long piece here, and tie them together. I'm just going to start with kind of a long piece like this. And then when I get to the end here, I'm going to glue my next one down right where that other one stops, and keep going until I get to the thickness and the length that I want. Now, I do want this top part to be thicker. So what I can do, I'm going to wait till I get to my third strip, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with my third strip, which is going to be slightly different. Instead of going all the way around now, I'm going to zigzag it, and I'm going to go back and forth. And that's going to start to make this top part a little bit bigger. All of this is going, how you do all of this is going to affect your final product. Now, if I were to start with those circles and sorry, I lost my train of thought. If I were to start with the circle and bring it down that way, see how now I have that sort of, it's not quite as long as I want it yet, but it's getting to be that teardrop sort of shape. I could even go, so where am I at here? Keep that tight enough, but. So now I kind of want to get this bottom part sorted out. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to bend. See how I'm sort of leaving a little gap there? I'm not going super tight to it. That's going to help me get that. And you can glue as much as you need to. If you find that you need to put more glue in there to keep that secure, go for it. I'm going to shove a little bit in there on both sides so that I can keep that shape. It's pretty close to where I need it. Okay, if I wanted to go longer, I still could. I could bring this down even more. So, and that kind of fits more with my, and I'm going to glue it to here. So you see what's kind of happening now is I'm getting this really cool design in there with all those colors. Sorry, my camera's foggy or blurry, whatever the term is. I'm getting that cool design in there along with the overall shape of this. So what I'm going to do in here, I'm going to do this a little bit differently. I'm going to make 3 little circles because I kind of want a design in there. So I'm going to use a half of one of my strips and do a circle, kind of like I did for the head. Okay, and glue that together. So there's one. Of course, it's not going to stand up for me, is it? Okay, and I'm going to do 2. You can kind of play with creative ways to get these shapes the way that you want them, because those internal shapes do really make a difference. Oops, this one didn't stick. And one more. And it's up to you if you want to pay attention to color or not. I'm not. I like the variety of colors. It's totally up to you if you want to like try to find, you know, blue strips for your wings or whatever you're making, you know. So I'm going to glue these 3 together first. Okay. Now when I make my wing, I'm going to wrap around those 3. And you're going to see those strips in the middle, those 3 circles in the middle of this shape. As that's starting to develop. Ah! I would add, you know, as many strips as I need to get to the shape that I want. And just like I did down here where I kind of pulled it so that I would get that point, I can do that same thing up here if I need to for the wing. Okay, so you're just going to kind of keep developing this, have fun with it, just play, just, you know, get to a point where you're comfortable kind of manipulating those shapes. Glue them all together and send me your final products. Can't wait to see them.